Hello everyone, this is Bebop here. Welcome to another Sims build video. I'm really excited to share this one with you. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes with these tiny house builds, I struggle to feel like there's much personality, but with this one, I really like how it turned out, and I feel like the lot that I chose in Newcrest was perfect for this. As you can see, I tried to create a little irrigation area on the roof, but I quickly realized that having the pool on top would make it so that there was pool underneath, and that made the tiny home down below too small, so I had to remove it. Maybe I'll try that idea again on a bigger build. I wanted to have this idea of like having maybe like turf or astroturf at the top of the roof, but it wasn't quite working out and I ended up getting rid of it eventually. Again, I might try that on a different build. I did really want there to be a really cool view though behind the windows, because this is such a small build and I wanted there to be just something picturesque and peaceful. I try to really have a story behind my builds and a certain person in mind, like a type of person in mind for when I do these builds. And so this was definitely supposed to be kind of like, you know, an eco home, somebody who enjoys nature, but is still a bit cosmopolitan and in the city, as you probably saw from the beginning of this video. And so I really wanted to make it like a really beautiful backdrop. I wanted there to be some kind of moving water, and I wasn't having any luck with any of the waterfall type of things. I did change the windows so you could get this beautiful full view without the paneled windows. And I did end up finding the little fish fountain, so I had that like kind of, you know, spurting water into this fountain item, and that pond is an item, so it's not actually like a fountain or anything like that. And so this is kind of the basic floor plan that we're left with. It's pretty small. The little back room there is the bathroom. I love exposed brick, so I wanted there to be a wall with a little exposed brick to give it kind of like an industrial chic feel to it. And I wanted it to look kind of contemporary, with like the monochromatic tones of like the white, the black, and later I realized that I put this pantry in and I didn't put a fridge, so the pantry got removed in the corner there for a fridge. And I do like how it looks though, with like the gray and black and whites. Like I said, I wanted it monochromatic, and then I really like the way like green and black kind of pops. And since it was an eco home and I knew there'd be like lots of plants and things like that, I knew it would look really cool. And then I changed out the counters so that the counters were white and the cabinets were black. Lighting is very important to me. I really like how you can choose good mood lighting, and so I switch between day and night between my builds a lot to make sure that the lighting looks good at like all points of the day and the night. Eventually you're gonna see that I got rid of that hanging light there. I had this cool idea. I wanted to do an industrial look, so I wanted the bed to kind of look like maybe it had been built out of like a pallet, and I think the end result turned out really cool. At first I tried to stack the pallets, and then I didn't really like how that looked. I added some lamps as almost like this was like a built-in, kind of like what you might get at a hotel, and I couldn't get artwork in there with the second panel, so I added like a shelf type of area, like as though the artwork was like kind of sitting on the shelf. And I love these little alcove items so much, and so the color scheme that was starting to kind of take place was like neutral colors and splashes of green, and I knew I wanted this person to have just like lots of plants. There's obviously lots of natural sunlight coming through, and I think I eventually got rid of that like kind of vine piece there because it didn't fit. It started to look a little gaudy and cluttered. And then by the bedside table I added like, you know, like little perfume bottles, and I thought this was a really clever idea to put this little baking tray as like a tray for the perfumes, but I regretted it later because it kind of bugged out and I couldn't really move it, so not sure I would recommend that. I haven't tried to get my sim to actually clean it up. We'll see if I can figure it out. I love this chair with the houndstooth pattern so much. I was so excited when I found it, And I love these new items that allow you to have maybe like a bookshelf in just like one square. It's so great for tiny homes. I'm not a huge fan of the Murphy beds because can't they like kill your Sims if they pop up or something? It's like, it's not worth it. Here I was kind of like, I knew I wanted to have like a little workstation, but nothing I did felt right. I tried to add a little bit of like closet space. It wasn't working. I had this idea of having like a bike mounted on the wall, which I think looks really cool, even though obviously it's not functional. And here's where I kind of struggle with the baking pan. It just would not go away. So I was like, well, it's fine. I guess it's fine there for now. And I kind of restructured this little area here. But the bed shape was starting to take form, and I knew I still wanted to do like a station where my sim could work. And I love using this little stool. It's actually a sitting stool. I love using it as a table. I think it looks so cute. In my apartment, I live in a studio, and I have this little stool that I use as a side table. So I added some shelving, some plants in front of the window, made a whole little kind of workstation over there. And then at the edge of the bed, I wanted there to be like textiles of some sort, maybe looking kind of flowy. I liked the idea for this basket, but I just couldn't make it look good sitting on top. And then I thought, you know what? In my apartment, I have these little baskets I use for storage. Let's make them like that and kind of stow them under there as though they're for storage in this little space. Added like a green rug, and I love this faux fur rug so much. It just looks so comfy. Like in real life, it would be so soft and nice. And I was kind of thinking, okay, how do I make this space look kind of lived in? And there's no closet really. And I really like the idea that you're about to see that I came up with. At first I thought I'll make a closet in the bathroom area maybe, but I came up with this little like zen area near the windows. And since the windows were such a wonderful feature, I thought this is so great. And I filled the basket with like linens and little pieces of like soft yarn and made this little area near the bed, added some postcards. And I just thought this was really taking such a cool shape to look like this really chic, kind of like bohemian meets industrial space from like somebody who wanted to be cozy, but still have like that contemporary feel. And I decided I wanted to kind of separate the kitchen a little more. It's still open concept, but I took this panel and I thought it would look really good because then it kind of matches with the way the bed was made. And I was like, what do I put here now? And then I was like, no, the fish tank is absurd. And I came up with the idea to make basically like a little space that's almost like a closet that you can see. And I had to get rid of the back wall there because it kept attaching to the back wall. So I had to just use this platform here. And I came up with this little like vanity closet area, and I thought it turned out so cute. The place to kind of hang clothes and store them in a dresser. I think builds look really cool when you think about like the utility, like how would the sim use them if they were like a real person. And so I thought this was a really cool place. Like if you're a minimalist, you can have a couple of nice little like cosmetics, and you can have a few like hanging clothes and store them in the dresser there and just kind of get ready and use the mirror for your day. I added a little planter because I think this person's gonna have a green thumb. And then I decided not to do a closet in the sense of like a back closet back there. And instead I made it kind of like a little shotgun bathroom for utility. And I put like, instead of like a closet you could walk into, I put kind of like a pantry style closet and some shelving. So basically nestled throughout the tiny home is little storage spaces. And I didn't put a sink. I kind of like the idea of, there's just one sink in the tiny home and other places are used for storage and things like that. And it's utilitarian. It also just kind of makes sense. I love how I kind of put this shelf here and it fit perfectly and made it into like this little kitchen nook. And to make it look less laundry-like and more kitchen-like, I put plates and stored like some food and utensils. And I think it turned out so cute and just like a really cool, there's a little plant on there. It was so perfect. And then I just kind of, added some finishing touches, another little basket with like stuff to take care of your plants. And then outside, I kind of touched at the landscaping. I like to make the landscaping match. So you can see I've used some debug trees to make it actually match the area that this house is in. I found some cool big old debug planters that I added to the patio. I wanted the bottom patio to look kind of like when a tiny house gets put on kind of like a platform. And then up top, I wanted it to be kind of like just like a area to lounge, plenty of space to have a patio top garden, do some yoga, look out and see the sights. I love this lot so much. I didn't realize just how much of like the city and stuff you can see from a distance, and so I thought this was really cool that you can just kind of climb up there, relax. And then since there's no real eating area in the tiny home, I created this really cool space where you could like entertain and just kind of like hang out on a warm summer night. And I think it turned out just so lovely. I would totally live here myself. So I hope you all have enjoyed this build. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all again really soon. Thanks for watching.